that beloved, physician Will Thompson just did a super job
He
in
sure did.
leading us. What one ruling elder can do for the body of Christ is very significant, and that was a great blessing. There was nothing like the Southern Presbyterian pastors that formed the PCA. They were godly men. It wasn't just doctrine, it was life that they manifested. It was piety, and it was the Southern gentlemen. They were strong as could be on the faith, but they had this love of people. They were true shepherds of the flock, and if we could just continue in that tradition of being led by pastors as they were in the original PCA, we would be a truly great denomination and have a truly great future ahead of us.
I just think we need to get honest about this, and if they can bring in exegetical work for any of their differences, well, then fine, let's vote on it.
Joe, I so agree with you that we've gone through two phases of subscription. We started, you can say strict subscription. I prefer full subscription.
Right, I do too.
We subscribe to the whole of the standards, and that's what we want. We want people that hold to the full subscription. Then we went to good faith subscription, but that really should mean the same thing. It really should mean full subscription, but with a little exception here or there that would be allowed by the governing body. But now we're moving, and may the Lord preserve us. We're moving toward what would be called exception subscription.
Right.
So that you don't expect people to come without exceptions. You want to know, well, what are your exceptions? And if you don't have any exceptions, then that's something of a problem. And then in that framework, you get to the point where you expect people coming into the presbytery to agree to your exceptions.
Yeah.
And as you say, Joey, without any process whatsoever of going through the changing of the standards by one majority vote of a presbytery, suddenly an exception has become the rule.
Well, I think there's a big difference between grassroots right now, what seems to be happening, and what's happening at the top of some of our committees in the denomination. And there just seems to be, you guys coming into presbyteries now, not taking exceptions. And if they're being honest, then this is by God's grace, a glorious thing that He could be granting to us. And I tell people, I tell our students, Reformation is one church at a time, one day at a time. What happens at the assembly is important, but not nearly as important as what happened in our presbyteries. And I think that's what I'm excited about, is what's happening in our presbyteries. And we've seen so many churches move confessionally.
Each new generation has to rediscover just how great is the Westminster Confession of Faith. It is a remarkable document. When you look at it, 25 pages or something like that, but it's truth. And truth has massive power. to affect the world and to affect people. But every generation has to rediscover for itself this truth that is embedded, not just embedded, but is the essence of the Westminster Confession of Faith. It's a wonderful thing when ruling elders as well as teaching elders grasp what they have in this treasure, and then they take that understanding and put it to work in their local church situation and the decisions of the session, and take it to the courts of the church as it relates to various issues as they come forward. And you've got truth then that is going to impact not just the way people think, but the way people live. As Calvin says, doctrine is not a thing of the mind, but of the heart.
Amen.
And it is the truth of the Westminster Confession goes deeply into the hearts of people. And here it's such a wonderful thing to meet an elder, and there are many of them. And you don't have to have a theological degree to understand the truths of the Westminster Confession. So I think we should encourage ourselves and do everything we can to get the word out there. I think podcasts are wonderful. Personally, I like things in print.